What's happening, good people? Welcome to the Wealth 100 Show. I'm your host, George Gilmore, and it's go time. Listen, guys, each week we bring on six-figure professionals and entrepreneurs who are winning in life and business. If you're ready to take your life to the next level, you found the right place. I need you to get into the room right now, guys. I'm putting you in the room with winners that will help push you towards your dreams. Finally, if you want to grow your business, grow your network, and live your dreams to the fullest, I encourage you to apply to the Wealth 100 Mastermind at thewealth100.com, where lives are being transformed through self-development and access to wealth-building opportunities. Welcome to the Wealth 100 Show. Let's go. Yo, what's happening, guys? Welcome to the Wealth 100 Show. I'm your host, Mr. George Gilmore. Have our guest, Mr. Kelsey Battle. What's up, dog?
What's up,
How you
friend?
doing?
I can't complain.
Look, Entrepreneur of the Year in the building with me.
Hey,
Look,
I
man,
put the work in.
Listen, I'm glad to have you here today, man. I thank you for blessing my people today.
Absolutely.
Listen, man, I want to introduce Kelsey, guys. Kelsey is an entrepreneur here in Fayetteville, North Carolina, but he's international at this point. Can I say?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. He is the founder of ICAN Clothing Brand, ready to take the world by storm. Listen, Kelsey, talk to the people just a little bit, give them a little bit about you, and then we'll back that thing up and start from the beginning.
Nice to meet everyone today. My name is Kelsey Battle. I'm the CEO of ICAN Clothes Company. It stands for I Can Achieve Now. You can find me at ICAN Clothes on Instagram. I'm the CFO for Family Service of America, foster care agency that my wife runs, and I'm a investor in the trucking company Plug Connection. And we also build homes. We own the construction company, and I'm the vice president of All America Construction.
Did y'all hear that? Is that your wife in the building? How you doing, Miss
She's
Shannon?
here today.
Thank you for attending. Shannon is our audience today. Listen, this guy's in like 17 businesses, all right?
Yeah.
Look, we're going to talk a little bit about all of them. We want to focus on ICAN primarily, and then I definitely want to get into some of the other things.
Okay, no problem.
But let's start from the beginning, man. I want to go back with a little bit with your background. Where are you from originally, and how'd you get here? Tell me just a little bit.
I was born in Philadelphia.
You were born in Philly?
Yeah.
Okay, I never knew that.
Oh,
Mom's
yeah.
from Philly, 17 North 19th Street.
Okay.
But anyway, go ahead. Keep moving.
So I was born in Philly. My dad joined the military, came here, so my mom followed him. So I actually grew up in Fayetteville. I claim Fayetteville as my home.
Right.
Still got family in Philly, but for the most part, graduated here, went to school here, graduated high school at 71st, and one point I want to point out, people don't notice that when I graduated high school, I couldn't read and write or spell.
Stop the presses. We're going to stop right there. Back up. You just said when you graduated high school,
Yeah.
you could not read.
No.
Talk to me. How do we get through high school and we're not able to read? Talk to me.
I could not read, write, or spell, but I was a good kid. I wasn't a troublemaker. So
Okay.
My mom was on drugs. And, I come from a broken home. I'm the youngest of 5, so it was no supervision. And, without supervision, the devil loves the idle mind.
Yes,
so it really wasn't no one to guide me along the way, through academically. So I just, I was a good kid, went to school to eat and stayed out of trouble. And they just passed me along. I show my kids my report card. I show everybody my report card. I keep it in my office. And I show people, like, this is my start, but it wasn't my beginning, not my ending. Yeah. So.
For you to even to say that out the gate is a testament to the strength of God and the power of God in your life, man. And it's over your life. Because of the things I'm seeing you doing now are amazing based on what you're telling me. So this is crazy.
I graduated. I tried to join the military. I didn't want to get in no trouble. So I took the ASVAB. I didn't even pass.
Okay.
So the recruiter came to me. He's like, this your diploma? I was like, yeah. And then he's like, is your name on it, but this is yours. I said, yeah, this is my diploma. He said, you didn't even score high enough to take the ASVAB. And then he said, can you read and write? I was like, nah. He told me I couldn't join the Army. He said, but I'm going to save your life. I was in Raleigh in North Carolina. And he said, I'm going to save your life. He said, I'm going to let you join the Army. It was during the Gulf War.
Really?
It was during the Gulf War. And they wanted people to join the Army because the war was going on. So I ended up joining the Army. He put me in. I was a 13 Bravo. I was in about 4 or 5 years, met my wife, and eventually I took this class called FAST class. My wife is academically gifted. She helped me study for the ASVAB, and I ended up raising my score. I took it over, and I changed my job. But for the most part, I could not read and write or spell when I graduated.
Kelsey has a book and a movie already. Am I right? You got a book and a movie, my friend. So you go back. You couldn't read and write. You go back. The guy says, "I'm going to give you an opportunity during the Gulf War."
No, he didn't say he's going to give me an opportunity. He said, "I'm going to say help.
I'm going to save your life."
That's what he told me.
And he's right.
Yeah,
he was actually right. I'm going to save your life.
Mm-hmm.
That's incredible. That's incredible. So you go into the Army. You said you were 13 Bravo at first.
Yeah, I was 13 Bravo about 4 years into my career. Okay. I met my wife. We got married. I've been married 29 years this January.
Okay.
5
Congratulations
kids.
on that.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that. So, we got 5 beautiful kids, and I ended up, raising my score, and I ended up being a supply sergeant. I did it about 10 and a half years in the military, got out. Reason why I got out, my wife, I started an ICAN Clothes Company. Mm-hmm. In the interim of that, my wife wanted to do some group homes. Okay. And I ain't know nothing about no group homes. She said, "I'm going to do some group homes." I said, "What is a group home?" She said that was her passion to work with kids. And she said, I wanted to, her goal was, I want to save the world. I want to save these kids. So she opened up some group homes.
It's amazing. You and I have a lot in common. Mm-hmm. I was in the Gulf War.
Okay.
When you got in, I'm a little bit older than you, but I served, I only served a year and a half active during the Gulf War. I was a reservist coming out of high school, served active. Where were you at during the Gulf War?
Germany.
You were in Germany?
Yeah, I was in Germany.
Okay, they just had me in like Fort Monmouth and Fort Dix, New Jersey on the blood banking team. I was a blood banking guy. So we were sending all the blood overseas or whatever. That's crazy. Then also, my family was in the group home business. So I'm like, okay, we have a lot of alignment here with you and your family, man. That's crazy. So you served through the military 10 and a half years. And you come up with this idea for this clothing brand called I Can. What I want to know, because the clothing is phenomenal. Just looking at it, man. It's popping off of you right now.
Appreciate that.
What makes you say, I want to come up with this brand called I Can, and the meaning behind it? How did that pop in your head? And why did nobody else have that at the time, which is crazy? Because I would think I was like, oh, I Can, somebody got that.
The thing about it is, I was in my supply room with my soldiers, and I had a TV in there, and I was watching the TV. And the Columbine shooting came on. It was a school shooting. It was like the first major school shooting in the U.S. And after the school shooting, I was like, wow, these kids doing shooting. I turned to a channel. There was a gentleman named Billy Graham. He was preaching. Mm-hmm. He had Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ. Okay. And he had, I can achieve now. And I said, I was like, wow, that's dope. I said, if those kids, and I turned to the soldiers, and we was discussing, I said, see, if those kids knew something positive, encouraging, like I can, something aspirational, like, imagine if I Can was like Nike. Mm-hmm. So, we talked about it, God put it on my heart, and then I said, we're going to do some T-shirts. So we did 100 T-shirts, and I got some guys from my church and the guys in my unit in the military. We went around. We couldn't sell not one shirt. We had 100 of them.
That sounds right.
We couldn't sell not one. We ended up giving them away. Mm-hmm. Then about a couple months later, people started saying, hey, you got another shirt? I was like, nah. So after we gave them away, people started asking for them. Mm-hmm. And the thing about how I started it was a guy gave me that. Everybody has a purpose. And then that was my purpose, to spread the ministry through I Can,
That's incredible. But truly, God is giving you these things, correct. Basically just dropping it in your lap. It's like, this is for you, son.
Correct.
Take this and run with it. It's crazy, man. Like I said, the clothes are beautiful. I had heard about you in the 90s from a friend of mine named Eric Burns. I don't know if y'all remember Eric.
Yes.
Me and he were good friends, but I didn't know who you were at the time.
Okay.
He's talking about Kelsey and Shannon, man. I was like, I don't know him. Yeah, good people.
Yeah, good people.
Yeah, good people. But so you did that. You put out the shirts. You gave away 100 shirts for free at first. I want my audience to listen to this, because a lot of times as entrepreneurs, oh man, I'm selling whatever. I got a restaurant. Nobody's showing up. Well, have you given any samples away? I'm doing whatever. Most of the time, a lot of times, particularly in our audience, we don't like to give away anything.
It's cost.
It's cost.
Overhead.
Yeah, but you got to give some samples away. Just look like the boys in the streets. You got to give some stuff away sometimes. Let me tell you some traction.
Let me tell you the back end of this. So we gave 100 shirts away. We couldn't sell them. Then people started asking for them. I got 3 jobs. Mm-hmm. I was in the military, showing up 5:30 for PT. I got off at 5:30. I went from 5:30 after that, went straight to the commissary on the military base. I bagged groceries to close, like 6 to close. I got about 5:36 to close. Then on the weekend, I was working at a car wash, Saturday and Sunday. working at a car wash. I left the car wash, but I was still at bagging groceries. So I kept 3 jobs for a whole year. My wife was working. We had 2 kids at the time, and I started stacking my money, planning out how I was going to, maneuver building this brand. Then I said, I'm going to get out of the military. So I ran 3 jobs for 3 years. Military, car wash, and then a friend of mine was in the military. He became the manager of a shoe store, Doug Bushy, Finish Line. I worked at Finish Line, open to close every Saturday and Sunday. I did that for the whole time. I kept 3 jobs. Ended up working at Little Caesars Pizza. The whole time I'm keeping 3 jobs.
That's crazy.
Stacking my money, building my brand, because that was my goal. My wife was working. I still took care of the household, but I used those other incomes to build my brand.
See, you're teaching a class right now. This is deep stuff, because a lot of people, particularly younger entrepreneurs, newer entrepreneurs starting, they don't understand that. They think they're going to just open up their business, put the desk out. I always tell everybody, and put CEO on the front on the label. You were willing to do 3 jobs at the same time. Most people don't understand that. You got to do what you got to do to get the thing off the ground.
But let me tell you, so building that, I started building my brand, designing clothes, and it came to me as a gift, designing clothes. I started designing clothes, putting catalogs together. I started shopping it around. While I was in the military, I shopped my brand to Deion Sanders' manager. She got me a meeting with him. He was promoting Nike at the time. I was still in the military. And then they wanted me to re-enlist. I said, I'm not re-enlisting. They said, what are you going to do? I said, I'm starting this clothing company. This is in 1999. About the time I ran it from 99 to when I got out of the Army in 2001, I ran that from 99 to 2001. And in the interim of that, my wife started some group homes. So I'm in the military, working 3 jobs. I quit 2 of the jobs and just was still in the Army, helping her run the group homes. So I would get off work from the military and go work at the group homes, sleeping there, working there, helping her run her group homes. So we had 1 at the time. We ended up with 3 group homes in 3 different cities. But it wasn't just like it just magically appeared, and we put in the work. So as we put in the work, I'm still in the military, building this brand, met with Deion Sanders, gave him a bunch of promotional items. He said he was with Nike. His contract with Nike was getting ready to end. And, he couldn't actually sign a deal yet. It was looking to come on board and, work together with me. He ended up started promoting the brand for free. So he's wearing ICAN gear on TV. Okay. And that kind of gave me leverage too, because he's wearing it, I think one of his major games was Cincinnati Reds. He had a triple, a double, a home run, stolen base. And during this interview, he had an ICAN hat on, and then he just continued to wear it.
Talk to me about design, because I heard you say that, and I asked somebody else. They told me about, Kelsey's a designer also. He's not just a guy that's slapping labels on T-shirts and caps. He's actually a designer. Talk to me about that skill set of designing, man, and where did that come from?
Well, actually, it goes into studying, the desire, my desire to understand what I was doing. It just wasn't me doing the work. I had to get into what I was doing, studying fabrics, grams of fabric, the weight. It's like the great GSM's 280. What you can print on, like you can't just screen print stuff on items because it won't last long. The different weights, different seasons. You got tech packs. I'm gonna give you an example of a tech pack. A tech pack is like small through extra large or whatever the size you're gonna have. So you can't have the sleeves on an item make the same size as the sleeve on the 2X. Right. So you got to know how to cut the different fabric because the sleeves are different. A 2X might have 4 buttons, and then a 2X might have 5 buttons, and the small might have 4. So everything is in different sizes. You got to know how to tech that out. So when you give it to a manufacturer, it's like the blueprint of building a car, blueprint of building anything. You got to know how to have a tech pack.
Talk to me about the technical. You're talking about technical stuff. Talk to me about how does this guy from Fayetteville, North Carolina, know where to go to get this brand going? Where do I get the pieces from this? Where do I get the things to get going? You know what I mean?
Yeah. So networking, the desire. You got to have the desire because it's not going to come to you. what I'm doing, it might not be for you, but you think you can do it because I'm doing it.
Right,
It doesn't
exactly.
happen like that.
Exactly.
You know, everybody has different abilities and different talents, and you got to find your gift. So I'm working in my gift, you know, working with youth, designing this brand. It was all a gift, and it was my talent. So for me, it wasn't that it came easy. When I put in the work, that's when my work started paying off. But going to trade shows, I was going to Vegas, New York. I was going to the Atlanta show. North Carolina used to have a show in Charlotte. So it's going to different trade shows, learning the business, meeting and networking with different people. I end up when FUBU at the height of FUBU, I met a gentleman named Eugene Nesbon. He was like a big executive in FUBU. So I met with him, and he asked me one day at the trade show, he said, "What is ICAN?" I told him what it was, what I was doing. A friend of mine was actually buying the brand, and I sat in on a meeting, and they wanted to know what ICAN was, and Eugene was asking me. He ended up giving me his card. We kept communicating. He kept seeing me at trade shows. I got a booth, and I'm going to Vegas. And my wife's company funded my company.
Travel. Okay,
yeah,
cool.
So she was helping me after I got to a certain level. I got out of the Army. Her company started funding my company. And then it helped me build my brand. Continuously, people seeing me put in the work. I'm in Vegas, and I'm seeing all the celebrities with booths huge, look like houses, you know, 15,000 square foot booths. I'm still with my 10 by 20, my 10 by 10, 10 by 15. Every year, every trade show I'm coming, and they would see me. And Russell Simmons see me one day. He was walking by my booth. He was like, "Wow, you still here?" I was like, "Yep." And he just like, we had a conversation. He was just encouraging me to keep going. You know what I'm saying? Keep doing what I'm doing.
It's crazy. We're talking about this. We talked about some of our alignments. You know, I had a clothing brand too.
Oh, okay.
I used to do SGMA, Magic, the whole night.
Oh, wow.
This is crazy. I had a sporting good. There's a basketball apparel brand called Sport 101. 98, 97, 98, 99, 2000, about 50 stores to the Southeast, man. Who was around? The guys from And1 Basketball. I knew all those guys. I started at the same time they did. Yeah, I didn't have the courage to keep going like you did, though, brother.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
Mine was an assignment. This is an assignment.
Yeah, that's crazy. That is absolutely insane, bro, that we have so many things in common. Talk to me a little bit about some of the challenges that you faced on this journey with the clothing brand.
You know, as I got to designing, right, I started meeting with manufacturers. Like, I want to get this done, and I need samples. They was like, "Who designed this?" I said, "I did." So they end up hiring me to design their stuff. All these,
the manufacturers.
The manufacturer. Okay. A lot of the Chinese, they do knockoffs, so even if it's not knockoff,
right,
they have the ability to get the best fabrics that a lot of brands can't get. And forecasting, they know a lot of forecasting because they see what's coming out. So working with different manufacturers, and they see my gift in designing. I was designing stuff that people was like, "We're not ready for that." And then after I would do it, like putting crosses and stones and all on clothes, they was like, "No, we're not ready for that." But then it started evolving. Putting like different colorways, using different materials on like the pockets and the bottom of the pants. I started doing that, and it was like, "You think this gonna sell?" So I was like evolving before it actually came about.
Where do you get your ideas for your designs? Because I'm hearing you. As a matter of fact, how you saying they were doing forecasting? How were you seeing things? Because obviously you're doing your own thing over here. What is it? Are you looking at different magazines and getting these ideas? What is going on in Kelsey's hand? Are you just an eclectic guy? You know what I mean? Where are we going with you? Where's this gift coming from?
You gotta offer something different. You can't do what everybody else is doing. So as I'm designing, I'm saying, okay, what was related to me? You know, so I was in the military. So I started designing like urban wear and streetwear, sportswear, but I would use military patterns.
I got you. So
the top the shoulders and up here might be military, but the rest would just be a solid look. Okay, I might put it on the bottom of the pants, but everything I was doing was related to what was associated to where I was from, like my religious background, me being a Christian. I started putting crosses, embroidery on garments, and if I didn't embroider, I would put stones on it. I would take shirts and make it look like the bottom of a pair of jeans. You know how you got the buttons and the loops on your pants? I was putting them on the bottom of the shirt and put a button there. And I started doing a lot of cut and sew, like screen printing and applique all on the shirt. Instead of just a screen print or just an applique, I was combining, garments together.
I love that, man. I mean, obviously the creativity is there. Talk to me about how are you distributing your clothes right now? Is it a lot mainly online, retail space? What are we doing right now?
Oh man, this has been a journey. I started building the brand, going to trade shows. The internet really wasn't popping. Everybody wasn't doing the internet. That evolved too. But through the years, it's going to a lot of trade shows, getting in a lot of mom and pop stores, getting into a lot of stores like big names like Dr. J's, a lot of stores upstate
I remember
where a lot of celebrities shop at. Getting into stores like that. But for the most part, just grassroots, doing trade shows. And then I hired a gentleman, his name's Stan Shambron. He used to be the president of Skechers, division of Skechers. They do shoes, but he was doing apparel. So I got with him through relationships too. So building relationships with
talk
people.
On that, please.
So, sometimes relationships cost, and you might have to pay to build a relationship. Hiring certain people. So hiring him, I'm like, wow, this is costly to hire him. But what came with hiring him, the people he knows, the rooms he can get me in, the phone calls he can make, the emails he can send. So that was costly hiring him, but it pays off in the end. When people start a business, and my wife told me, you got money. Why you still nickel and diming? Why you $1,000 this? If you just go ahead and pay the cost, you'll get the results. But sometimes you can't pay the cost, but you can't afford it. But in the end, I'm not saying put all your eggs in one basket, but you can't nickel and dime your way when you get to certain levels. Once you get to a certain level, you can't function like you did when you first started. Yeah. So me financially investing in the people I was hiring changed how I started moving and getting in different stores as well.
For you, I want you to talk to me a little bit about protecting the idea of I Can. Because people out here starting brands or whatever, how does a new entrepreneur protect that particular idea so that the vultures don't come and do what they just try to do?
I'm going to tell you, when I first started I Can, I was in the military. I was in BNOC. I literally went up to the USPTO in Virginia, and I filled out my application.
Oh, you went to the office? Okay,
yeah, I literally went to the office, drove there, filled out my application.
That's the Patent and Trademark Office, guys.
United States, it's called USPTO.gov. You can go there and you can file your trademark at USPTO.gov. So I literally drove there, and remember when I started in 1999, everything was automated. Right. It wasn't like internet.
Right. We had to go fill it out.
You had to fill it out. I literally got the application from the library on Cliffdale Road in Fayetteville, North Carolina, and I was carrying it around with me. Finally filled it out, went up there. I paid my $125 for my trademark, but that was in 1999. Now it's like about $450, $425. But I filed the trademark for apparel.
Okay.
So you can have a brand, but you have to file it in the right category. Right. So mine was apparel. So I filed the trademark for it in 99. And then every 5 years, you have to update it. You have to update your trademark because if somebody filed for it, they can petition you if you ain't using it. You just can't file a trademark and sit on it and not use it. Gotcha. If you file a trademark and then I want to use it and I found out you haven't used it, I can file for it and you have to prove you've been using it. Okay. You just can't sit on it.
Just hold it.
Yeah. So, actively using it, you don't have to be national. You can use it right in your state, your community, but you have to use it.
Okay.
So using my trademark, I filed it. And over the years, I had other companies, other people filing for I Can too. Like mine is I Can. So someone filed for I Can too. But it's interference with my brand. So they wasn't allowed to use it, or someone was using my brand. As you notice, my brand is I Can, one word, ICAN, but they started using I Space Can. Okay. And made a lot of money. Wow. And and thought that it was okay to use my brand. They gonna
ride out with I Space Can.
So what actually hindered me, because when I started soliciting in large department stores, when people started seeing me with my brand, they thought my brand was associated with the other company, but actually it wasn't. Wow, so now I'm soliciting to your company, and you saying, well, we already got this brand here, or somebody already using it,
Uh-huh.
it hindered me from getting relationships or buyers buying it because somebody else was using it as well. So you got to protect your brand.
That's crazy. Talk to me about right now. I know you're getting to the point where you're doing some scaling. Talk to me about scaling. What does that look like for the ICAN brand at this particular point? Where are we going?
Let me explain something to people. It doesn't matter what business you're in. You can't be everything to everybody.
Talk.
Like my wife is the general contractor for our company. She's a GC. When we started our construction company, we was doing small renovations. We didn't have the crew to do neighborhoods. But now we at the level where we own 16 houses because we can do neighborhoods, we can do schools, we unlimited. We can build anything we want.
Right.
But we started the construction company, I want to say in 2014. We moved to this level.
Okay. That's
So
crazy.
when it comes to apparel, you can't do t-shirts, hats, jackets, jeans, sweatsuits, track jackets. Because when you do apparel, if you do all those items, what if they don't sell? Now you got to get a storage facility and store it.
So for a new person in the apparel space, if I'm starting today, how do you tell me to start? How many SKUs or whatever? How many pieces do you tell me to start with?
I would, if you're starting a brand, I would suggest you start with 5 SKUs. So one of them would be a hat. You're always gonna have t-shirts. You're always gonna have hoodies and sweatshirt. And then I would pick another item that you think you can design, like a track jacket or a windbreaker. Because once you do a t-shirt, it comes in 3 colorways: black, blue, and green.
Okay.
So if you do, and then you got a hat. So if you're doing 5 items and you 3 times 5, that's 15 different colors.
Right.
But you're doing 5 different pieces.
Okay.
You go start doing 100 pieces per item. That's over 500 pieces.
Right.
What if you only sell 20,
you put yourself
20% of it?
Put yourself in a bind
You put
real
yourself
quick.
in a bind. And then that was for spring. Now you
Okay.
got summer. Now you got 5 more items you got to design for spring, summer, fall, holiday. So start small. Do some t-shirts and some caps. Or, people wear caps. People short sleeve t-shirts are year round. I would stay away from long sleeve t-shirts unless you use that same print on long sleeve. So say you got the Wealth 100 and it's in black. And so I would do that same print on long sleeve and short sleeve.
Gotcha.
But you can't, that's where people, I talk to a lot of companies, a lot of people starting brand, they want to do everything. How does that look for your bank account?
Okay. You need to have a conference on starting a clothing brand.
Yeah, my wife tells me that all the time.
Somebody else is talking about it. I need to tell you about it. Somebody you know. They was like, man, let's put a conference on starting a clothing brand. I know they would definitely want to talk to you about participating or partnering on that.
And one thing.
You know I'm talking about your cousin. I'm picking at his wife, guys. I'm talking about your cousin.
So, one thing, and just the aspect of business, you have to scale where you can manage, and you have
I like that. Smack 'em, boy. I like that.
And you have to manage.
Kelsey in here teaching today, y'all. Kelsey's teaching. Scale we can manage. I like that.
So, you can't take a contract that I'm gonna get this contract, and I got these 100 delivery. I got a contract for 100 deliveries a day.
In one truck.
One truck. Then the truck break down.
Right.
Then what you gonna do? Or you might have 4 trucks and all your employees walk away.
I love that part.
So now you're stuck with the overhead of managing 4 financial obligations than one. You have to scale, but see, everyone wants the bag. They looking at what the other person did. I can do that. You can do that, but you have to scale it. You have to manage it, and it's a process. It's just not overnight. A lot of people see, they see what you're doing, and they say, "Well, why not me?" Or they don't understand. I've been doing this brand since 1999, and I'm gonna tell you something too about doing this brand since '99. You don't know how much I have to. Like right now, I'm gonna give you a prime example. Bloomingdale's called me today and was like, "Hey, we want to bring you into Bloomingdale's Fashion Week Atlanta."
He's not joking, y'all. This is a real story.
So I get a phone call before I'm coming to meet you. Bloomingdale's call. We know you're doing Fashion Week in Atlanta. we want to let your brand come and do Bloomingdale's in Atlanta. So I said, okay, great. I have product that I design, right? Mm-hmm. And my wife and my daughter's like, why you always got that product? And I said, I'm gonna sell it. There's like, and then I get more product. You know, I'm scaling to the internet. I'm scaling trying to get into your store, his store, but I have product already. And I always tell people, it's better to be prepared,
right,
and not have an opportunity, than have an opportunity and not be prepared. I love it. So I'm always in my arena of where I'm at, the things that I can control. I'm always prepared because I never know when my opportunity gonna come.
I love it. Let's talk about this Fashion Week thing. Tell us about Fashion Week in Atlanta. When is it and what's going on there?
So if you go on my Instagram at ICAN Clothes, we having Fashion Week. There's it's like Fashion Week that you see on LA or Fashion Week in New York. A lot of celebrities going to be there. A lot of brands, high-end brands going to be there. Different categories: streetwear, urban wear, luxury wear. And my showing is Saturday at the Underground downtown Atlanta.
This Saturday?
Yeah, no, next Saturday.
Next Saturday.
It's going to be the 6th.
Okay.
From 2 to 4. My showing is from 2 to 4.
October 6th, 2 to 4, Underground Atlanta.
Yeah. So everything that I'm designing for current, ready to go, ready to buy, as well as I'm showing my spring line 2024.
So how does one prepare for Fashion Week? This is next level stuff because most people never get to that level to even participate in something like that.
You got to have a team. So I got a great team. And like I said, it costs. You just can't, you know, in the beginning I was wearing all the hats. I was the designer, the screen printer. I was the sales rep. I got Deion Sanders myself. I didn't hire nobody.
Right.
I wrote a script out. I stood in the mirror. This is no lie. I wrote a script out what I wanted to say to his manager. And I wrote it out. And I read it in the mirror in the bathroom. I did that about 100 times. So when I called his manager, I said, hey, my name is Kelsey Battle. I work for ICAN Clothing Company. We're a new brand on the market. We're looking for a lot of top professional athletes to present our brand to. We don't want Deion to miss out on this opportunity to be something great. And I just rehearsed that over and over and over. So when I called her, she didn't know I was still in the Army. She didn't know I was just starting my brand. So when I presented it, I was trying to get to someone I knew that I had a great idea that can come along and help me. It wasn't that I needed him to loan me no money.
Right.
And because that's what a lot of people do. They go up to a lot of celebrities or people with money and they say, hey, can you invest in my company?
Right.
But they don't want to be investors. They want to be a part of it. They want to help you build. Now, hey, can you help me build this company?
Right.
So if I approach you and I say, hey, you know, I see you as a bank. You're not a bank.
Right.
You know, you have a lot of other things going on. So when I was approaching him, I wasn't approaching him like I need some money. You know, we can make a lot of money. I approached him as, hey, can you help me build this? Can you help me save people's lives? Can you help me encourage people?
I love it.
So that was my vision was about. It wasn't about him just putting on the brand and we making money. It was about building the brand and inspiring people.
You know what? This just came to me. I'm thinking about you telling me at the beginning that you didn't have the ability to read and write by the time when you came out of high school. But I think in a way that was a gift and a blessing to you because it gives you a different perspective, a different grind, a different tenacity.
Absolutely.
When you're pursuing everything that you're pursuing. I think that's crazy. I don't know why that just hit me. I got chills thinking about it. I'm like, this dude moves different when he's approaching people in these spaces. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let me explain. So, in the arena of what you're saying, you know, people come from all different walks of life and opportunities and setbacks. Like my kid, I have 5 kids. They don't, if you knew my wife's story, you would be like, wow. You know, you wouldn't believe you would think that she had an easy walk. Right. Because how gifted she is verbally and talented, and she's very intelligent education-wise. And it comes through what she's been through. You know, it builds a character about people. So my kids now, they like, wow, life is hard. You know,
right.
I remember my daughter. I'm like, how many pair of shoes you got? I just asked her. She said at least 60.
Right.
At least 60. I mean, when I grew up, I was wearing Smack jeans and cougar shoes and Payless. Everybody wearing shell toe. Everybody wearing.
Boy, you wild.
Yeah. So I'm wearing cougar shoes. You heard of the shoes Cougar out of Payless?
Yeah, I remember. I'm
wearing Cougars.
Yeah, I remember them
Smack
joints.
jeans. Everybody wearing Lee jeans and Levi's.
God.
I'm wearing Smack jeans. So just that walk gave me the desire to. Not just to be rich, to have security, to be, safe. But my kids now, and not just my kids, a lot of kids now.
In general, yeah.
In general, this day and age, everything has to happen like immediately. Mm-hmm. Like my wife is a therapist. She has a contract in Cumberland County to put therapists in schools.
Okay.
We need therapists in schools now. What the parents say?
Right. So, what are we doing?
So different age, different time, but you see how we got whoopings. Yeah. We got. I remember I got spanked. The wooden spoon in school. You get a paddle in.
Right.
You cut up. So now kids just see. They think it's just
no
easy,
discipline.
it's automatic microwave.
No whatsoever.
Yeah, exactly.
Talk to me about back to Fashion Week. The casting call process. What does that look like for those of us that don't know?
So getting back to having a team, you have to have a team. Mm-hmm. So I'm in Fayetteville, North Carolina right now, but I have a team in Atlanta. Okay. My PR person is well connected, but it costs me. Mm-hmm. The person I hired to do the casting, he's well connected. Okay. All these rap videos you see, Rick Ross and Keith Sweat, T.I. and all, he shoots those videos. Okay. He shoots documentaries. So me being connected to those people and the people they know, and they making phone calls, and I'm paying these people to pay other people. Right. It's just building relationships. So
back to relationships, guys.
That's right. It's like people say, a seat at the table, or, or you being invited to the table. By me being associated with different people, and it's not because I have money, it's because of my character. Right. They see what I build. They see the people around me. They see my wife, correct. They see my wife. I'm coming in the room, and they see how established I am. And it's not even about the etiquette. It's just how you present yourself. Right. Do this person want to be attached to you? Because you remember, everything I'm attached to, you attached to. Mm-hmm. So would I hurt their brand?
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
So you have to present yourself in a manner of, I'm not here to take. I'm here to give. I'm here to build. So the casting call, I got someone down there because that's what they do, and they're well established already. Okay. Positioning for Fashion Week. So they had a walkthrough yesterday. Because of my relationship, I didn't have to go to Atlanta and for one day, because I live in Fayetteville, and just do a walkthrough. Okay. They said, but if you're in the arena, already down there, they have people already down there on the ground doing things. So just relationships and having people in place to do what needs to be done without me being there.
Talk to me about the pop-up shop in Bloomingdale's. What does that look like, man, and how do you get that going, man?
So, that's like...
Because that's got to be exciting for you and your family, bro.
Listen, let me explain. So I've been to I'm going
to have to ride down there next week. You can see what's going on. Kelsey and Bloomingdale's.
So as through the years, building the brand, I had presented to Foot Locker twice, Macy's, Hibbett Sports. I was approved for Macy's. Okay. And then... the pandemic hit. Right, okay. Yeah. So I was approved for a bunch of stores on the internet. They even said, we'll bring you in on the internet. These are big box stores. I got you. I'm a disabled veteran. So I went to the Department of Navy. I went to the Department of Army twice, presenting my brand. So I've been in the room, and I had seats at the table, but it's opportunity. So now with this opportunity, with Bloomingdale's, they give you, it's called a kit, right? Okay. And they'll tell you how you have to have your setup, how many pieces to bring in, and they see how you present yourself. They see how your brand is welcomed in the community with their buyers. So once you're just not going to go in there and do what you want to do.
Some joints to keep it moving.
Correct. Right. So based on how you go in there and you present yourself, your brand does well, that open up another door. But you just have to have, Bloomingdale's price points are different. Right. So the fabrics of what you're presenting has got to be on point. Gotcha. The labels inside the shirt have to be on point. Can't be Gildan and you got your brand on it, and you present, and you know that's how people start though. They tear out the label, and you got a gilding in there. It's nothing wrong with that. You're building, but now you're in a different environment. You're in a different arena. You're representing Bloomingdale's. You're just not representing ICAN. Okay. You're representing Bloomingdale's when they invite you into their space. Okay. So it's levels to this. So having the correct labels and hang tag, and you know the hang tag can change how they see your brand. Prime example, when we do our hang tags, we got different aspirations on there, like you know, like the fortune cookie.
Yeah,
it's basically like a fortune cookie, but it's a hang tag. So we just don't offer garments; we offer inspiration.
Right, I get you. Talk to me a little bit. Since you've been doing this since
1999.
Talk to me about the mindset. How do you stay in a positive frame of mind with the ups and downs? You know, what do you do to keep your mind right, bro? Stay in this long. Seriously. Because most people quit.
You know,
18 months, particularly in the African American community, we quit.
You know, a lot of business, it doesn't matter what community it comes from, Asian, it's the mindset. A lot of businesses, you know, 3 to 6 years to determine how long you're going to be in business.
Absolutely.
But you said the magic word. It's your mindset. So it has nothing to do with your position or your situation. Your mindset changes your position, your situation.
Talk.
So if your mindset is not on I can do this, if your mindset is on giving up, if your mindset is not set on opportunity, the key word is mindset. How you see yourself. Do you see yourself at the next level? Do you see yourself in the room with these people? So it's the total mindset of, you know, how you present and how you see yourself.
It's great that you say that. We had our mastermind for the Wealth 100 this past weekend. You know, we talk about wealth creation in there and whatnot, but a couple of guys were a little bit negative. They had been going through some things the last quarter, numbers not what they're looking like, what they used to look like, and I was trying to get them back, and they wanted to talk about money, and I was like, no, we're not talking about money this next 2 hours. I pulled out my books, Positive Mental Attitude. Let's work with this. What you reading right now? What you listening to right now? Who you talking to right now? I said, all of that stuff can be fixed once you fix this part. You got to keep that mind on track at all times, brother. You're going to lose it. You know, it's just facts.
So me and my wife, we have this thing. People try to put politics on this person holding me back. I don't want this person in the White House. If this person in the White House is going to change my business, you know, only thing it really changes is the tax code. That's the only thing. The president comes in and says we're going to lower the corporate tax. We're going to raise the corporate tax. Raise it up. Yeah, but you know, for me, we always say it doesn't matter who's in the White House. We still going to make money. You see, my mindset is I don't care who's in this position. That's not going to dictate my position. So when you start looking at the other person or what this person doing or what that person doing, it takes your focus off your mindset of where you want to be. So we always position ourselves, it doesn't matter who's in the White House, we still gonna make money.
It's funny that you say that. My mother's mentor told her that a lot. This was 1984 probably. Listen, honey, that's how she talked. It don't matter who's in the White House. You better make you and your family some money.
Correct.
Period. Correct. You'll be all right because that's what America respects. It is what it is. It is what it is. Talk to me a little bit about what is it that you enjoy the most about what you're doing with the I Can brand, sir?
You know, seeing what it do for people, being able to work with my family. I mean, we own a construction company, you know, all the other business we have, but the joy of being able to work with my kids and my wife, and it's not even the money, because money don't make you happy. It gives you more options. And people say, oh, money make you happy for a moment. It just gives you
Gives you the options.
That's right. It just gives you more options. So we don't focus on the money part. We focus on the goal, the opportunities. And once you set a goal and you reach the goal, it's just more fulfilling as me flying out of the country or, you know, me buying, you know, new clothes, a new car. So just focus on our goals and our opportunities.
So it's clear that you find joy in the journey,
Correct.
We could say.
Yeah.
I love it, man. Listen, man, we're getting ready to wrap up. What I want to do, I thank you again for coming through. I want to talk to you and your wife Shannon later on, maybe another podcast, and we can get into some of the construction stuff, if that's okay, Miss Shannon. Is that all right with you? So, because I know you guys are doing big things over there, man. I'm excited to see what's going on over there. Again, I want to thank you for coming through. I want to thank you for giving a masterclass to my audience on creating a clothing brand, man.
Oh, yeah.
Seriously, because a lot of people really don't know. They're just pulling it, just pulling strings. They don't know which way to move. Just a little bit of the information that you've given over this last 45 minutes, man. I ain't gonna say a little bit. A lot of the information that you've given over 45 minutes will be instrumental in somebody else trying to get their brand off the ground, man. Tell the audience how we can support you with the I Can movement, sir.
I'm gonna tell you this story. I was in Vegas and I had my booth. This lady comes over, it's 3 white ladies. They don't even buy what I was selling. They were just, you go check out what everybody else have. And this lady was like, what is I Can? Because they just see I Can brand, whatever, your name of your brand. And I started talking to her, and I was telling her about how I got started, Billy Graham. I was inspired by the Philippians 4:13. As I'm telling her my story, she's tearing up, right? And I'm like, you okay? She ends up telling me she was gonna commit suicide. She'd been married 27 years, have 2 sons, and her husband left her for a younger lady, a younger person, a younger woman. And she was thinking about committing suicide. And she was like, I needed this. I was like, wow, And then we kept, conversing, and then she ends up leaving. And everybody's looking at us, I can see people looking like, what's going on with her? But then after that moment, God was like, it's not about the money. And so for me, how can people help? I Can just continue to encourage each other and support the brand, or buy a shirt, give it to somebody, whether they're going through something or not. We all need encouragement. People say, hey, how you doing? Oh, I'm doing good, and really you ain't. So you can follow me at ICAN Clothes on Instagram. Just continue to support, like our brand, follow us so we can build up our following to continue to encourage people, throughout the U.S. or throughout the world with our brand.
Yeah, let's take it. We're international. It's the I Can brand with Mr. Kelsey Battle.
Or you can go, our website is ICANclothes.com.
ICANclothes.com, guys. Check them out. Listen, Kelsey, man, again, I want to thank you. I want my audience to support the I Can brand. I want you guys, particularly those that are in Atlanta that watch the show, try to get out to Fashion Week not this weekend, but the following weekend, and check out Kelsey. Go by Bloomingdale's to the pop-up shop. Absolutely. Cop some stuff.
So
talk to her. Look, Kelsey got more. Go.
My team, so the first 25 people today and the next day that buys the item gets a free ticket to Fashion Week.
Okay. I'm going to have to go and cop mine before y'all get out of here then. So is that if I go online and buy it?
Yeah, you go online and buy it. We have your when you buy an item, we have your contact information, and then once the first 25 people buy an item, we will DM you and put your name on the list, so you'll just show up on the guest list. Okay. Look, all
right, Shannon. I'm going to go on and get me 2 shirts. Me and my wife might have to come through next weekend and see, man, what's happening there. Because this is exciting, man.
Absolutely.
I know somebody doing Fashion Week in Atlanta. Mr. Kelsey Battle of I Can Clothing. Listen, brother, I thank you again for coming through, man. Thank you for everything, man.
All right.
Big things coming, guys. I thank you guys for tuning in to the Wealth 100 show. Look, guys, if you're interested in a mastermind, go to our website, thewealth100.com. Check out our mastermind group. We meet every quarter somewhere in the U.S., usually Atlanta, Charlotte, Raleigh, D.C., thewealth100.com. Again, we thank you guys. Peace. Thank you for tuning in to the Wealth 100 show. Today's show has been sponsored by the Wealth 100 Mastermind. If you're ready to join a tribe of winners, if you want to be a part of the best mastermind on the planet, go to thewealth100.com right now and apply. I need you to get into the room right now, guys. Let's go. Thewealth100.com.